Hello students, today we will study about the bars with a difference. This is the topic of Standard 8, chapter number 5, data handling. So in this chapter we have studied about how to handle the raw data. How to handle means how we can arrange the data, the raw data whatever we have given, how we can arrange that raw data in the two forms. First we will study how to we can differentiate or we can distribute the data using the frequency distribution table, right? And then we study about whenever the number of data is of large quantity, we cannot use the simple frequency distribution table. At that time we have to use the class, right? We are using the class. Using the class we distribute the data using class and frequency, right? So now there is one another method, that is bars with a difference. And what is that? Let us study. See, suppose there is an example of students. There is 60 students which have get the marks in mathematics test, and the marks whatever they get, we distributed that using this distribution table. So here we have make the class. So this is first column is of class interval and second one is of frequency. So the students who got the marks between 0 and 10, number of students is 2. Number of students who got the mark between 10 and 20 is 10. Number of students is 21 who get the marks between 20 and 30. In this way, number of students who get the marks between 50 and 60 is 1. So in this way, this is the frequency, that means the number of students. Total number of students is 60. So what we use here? We use the class, right? And then use the frequency distribution. Okay. So this is the table what we have. This kind of table we already studied how we can make this kind of table. Now using this table, or we can represent this situation as a graph. We can use graphical representation here to show this situation. So based on this table, now we will draw one diagram, one picture, one graph. So here there is two axes. The horizontal axis, there we use the marks, and this is what? These are the marks. The marks start from 0, and there is a class interval of 10. So 0 to 10, 10 to 20. So here we have to put 0 to 10. This is the first class interval. 10 to 20, second class interval. 20 to 30, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. In this way, we use the class marks here, class intervals here on horizontal axis, and on vertical axis we use the number of students. So the number of students are varied from 1 to 21. So the maximum number is 21. So here we use the scale of 2, right? 0 to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 and 22. So on vertical axis we represent the number of students, on horizontal axis we represent the marks. Now see, first interval 0 to 10, that means the frequency is 2, number of students is 2. So here we have to make an bar which has a height for 2. What is 2 represent? Number of students. And what this represents? 0 to 10, 2 students get the mark between 0 and 10. So this is what we represent on the graph. Now 10 to 20, class interval is of 10 to 20. The mark is 10. So we have to make this bar up to the height of the 10 marks. So this is another bar. Third, 20 to 30, that is of 21. So 20 to 30, this class interval, but the marks is up to 21. So 21 is in between 20 and 22, in the middle value of 20 and 22. So 21 is exactly will be here. So this is the class interval of 20 to 30, and its frequency is 21. In the same way, 30 to 40, the frequency is of 19. Again the 90 is in between 80 and 20, right? And the last one 40 to 50. Okay, 40 to 50, it has a frequency of 7. So here 7 is where between 6 and 8. So this is the frequency of this class 40 to 50. And the last one is 50 to 60 and its frequency is only 1. So here we have to make the two equal parts of 0 and 2. So this is what we get here, the height of the last bar. So here we have to notice the many things. In bar graph, this is look like the bar graph, but there is a difference. In bar graph there are the bars, but there is a gap between the bars. But here there is a no gap between the bars. Because why? Because we use the continuous class interval. One class interval ends with 0 and second class start from the 10. One class end at the 10. Second class is start from the 10. That is why there is a no gap. And that is why this graph look like this. There is a no gap between the bars. So this type of graphical representation is called the histogram. This type of graphical representation is called the histogram. It is similar to the bar graph but different in this way that we use here the class interval. And in class interval you can see that there is a no gap. Right? So this is what we called as a histogram. Okay, so the bars of the equal width with no gaps in between. So this is different between the bar graph and histogram. There is a no gap. And also here the width is also the equal. All the bar has the equal width. Height of the bar shows the frequency. What is the height of the bar shows? The frequency. In this case it is the number of students. So this is what is about the bars with a difference, right? And it is called a histogram. Okay, so in this way we can represent our frequency distribution table as a picture, as a graph. Okay, okay, let us understand this histogram using one example. Now this is the sum of the exercise 5.1 question number 5. Here we have given a histogram and from that we have to give the answer of some of the question that is asked. So what is the question? First of all, let us understand. The number of the hours for which student of a particular class watched the television during holidays is shown through the given graph. So this what about this graph is? This graph is about how many hours the student watched the TV. Okay, from that we have to answer the following given questions. So here let us first of all understand, on the horizontal axis we have given the hours of TV watched per day. So this is the hours. 0 to 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. This is the hours. And on vertical axis we have given the number of students. Here there is a scale of 4 is given. So we write down it as a 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28 and 32. Now this is what? This is not a bar graph. This is a histogram. Why? Because there is a no gap in between two bars. So what kind of information we have to provide from this graph? Let us see. See the question. First question is, for how many hours did the maximum number of students watch TV? For how many hours did the maximum number of students? Now choose a bar which has a maximum value. Which bar has a maximum value? This bar has a 4, this bar has a 8, 22, 32, 8 and 6. So this bar is a maximum value 32 and this bar represents the class interval 4-5 and 4-5 is what? Hours of TV watched per day. So 4 to 5 hours of TV watched by the day by the 32 students. So first answer is 4 to 5 hours. So maximum number of students watch the TV 4 to 5 hours. This is the answer of first question. Now the second. How many students watch the TV for less than 4 hours? Less than 4 hours. How many students watch the TV less than 4 hours? So these are the hours. This is the 4. Less than 4 means we can consider this class interval 3 to 4, 3 to 1 and 2 to 1. These all are the values less than 4 hours. So here we have the value 22, here we have the value 8 and here we have the value 4. So 22 student plus 8 student plus 4 student. So total is of 34 students. So the 34 students are that who watch the TV less than 4 hours. Right? Third, how many students spend more than 5 hours in watching TV? More than 5 hours. More than 5 hours now, we can consider more than 5 means we can consider these two class interval 5 to 6 and 6 to 7 because both the class interval represent more than 5 hours. So here how many students? 8 and here 6. Right? So 6 plus 8 that is equals to 14. So 14 students are there who watched the TV more than 5 hours. So this is what we get the information. We can get the information from a histogram. If we have given the data, raw data, we can make the frequency distribution table with the class and then make the histogram also. If we have given the histogram, then we can also answer the questions from that histogram. So this is all about how we can draw this histogram and how we can get the information from the histogram. Okay, so this is all about this lecture. Thank you.